Yeah, looks like they back for a fifth season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT. They got that realness flowing in their DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so. What you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy. Break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal with roll tide forever. Real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT. Beyond the glass, that G-Money. They with a strong, I never lose. 6-man elite, that's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe it. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we're live in our virtual studios overlooking the digital world. I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and I got my main guy here with me, who's always trying to get me to put water on my Duke Blue. Coach is in the building. What's happening? What's happening, Coach?
No comment on that last statement. I'm gonna deny every bit of it.
Well, I would say this. Your team has finally hired a general manager, and he's a graduate of North Carolina. So, cheers.
And it's amazing that they have actually given Hubert Davis a contract through 2030.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Because I let you tell it, he was gonna be gone at the end of the season.
Yeah, but they playing, like I said, they playing chump killers now. They killing all the low budgets down at the bottom, try to get into the tournament. So hey, that's what the schedule is working to their favor.
I see. Other than that, how's your week going? I see you got some get well soon balloons behind.
Yeah, the progress is there. It's a matter of time, just taking it day by day.
Okay. How's the walker going?
Yeah, I did some today. Like I said, my physical therapist, I love those two ladies. They putting it on me, but I want them to do that.
All right, Coach. Watch how you say that now.
I take that back. I'm not Justin Tucker. No, no, sir. They give me a hard workout.
Is that right?
I get it right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds a little better because Justin Tucker he's about to face something. 16 different incidents.
Yeah, they about to give young Justin. He might be getting the Deshaun Watson treatment. He don't know it yet, but stay tuned. It's coming. So they're gonna work with him though. They got something in store for him. And Baltimore already looking for another kicker right now. So
Before we get going, how's your Steelers off season going?
well, the quarterback carousel continues. It's like every quarterback that's a free agent is supposed to come to the Steelers. I don't know why they keep doing that. Like I said, I'm throwing my support in the ring for Justin Fields to be the quarterback, and I'm gonna leave it there. If they get somebody else, I'll still support them, but I'm going with Justin Fields.
Going with old Justin, huh?
Yes, sir. He seemed to be the one. His skill set. He still got a lot of work to do, but that's what off season is for. And that's where you get somebody to come in and get an offense that's tailored to him, not somebody else. It's tailored the offense to him, run the play that he looks good in, and we'll see what happens. A lot of craziness all season. I know that. This is the time of the year where all the speculation taking place. So, and Russell Wilson, if it's him, that's fine too. But Russ, I think, is going to be Giants, Raiders, flip a coin. I don't know if he's gonna be there.
So you want Justin Fields, huh?
Yes, sir.
You putting your name in that.
Yep, Justin Fields.
You putting your vote in.
Yep. That's what I'm going with.
Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, we have to give I have to give a very, very special shout out to a happy birthday shout out to my main man, Dez Robinson, who just turned 50 the other day.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Dez been rocking with SRT ever since 2013, and we so appreciate Mr. Robinson. Another shout out goes out to another one of our loyal listeners, and she's been rocking with us ever since the inception, Miss Shay Monet. She told me not to reveal her age, but her birthday is tomorrow.
All right. Happy birthday to both of y'all.
So Miss Shay Monet, happy birthday from the SRT crew. Gotta get them cheers out there.
Oh yeah.
She said, "Don't be on the air trying to telling them folks my age."
Yeah, you know how women are.
I said, "But you don't look your age."
She don't want to hear that.
She's a lottery player, so hopefully her age come tomorrow.
Yep. With them numbers.
We'll see. Yes, sir. With that being said, man, we got some hot news coming up. NFL Combine starts. Cam or Shedeur? Which one or who are you taking? Then we got the Mavericks visited the Lakers last night as LeBron moves over off the ball and officially gives Luka the so you can spend more time on the ball now.
Yep.
So we got that to talk about. Also, 7:45, we got Smitty coming on to talk about the NFL draft and what the Falcons are looking for, are looking to do in the draft. Now, before we even jump into that, Coach, I do have to ask, does it matter if our GM is in Indianapolis or not? Does he need to be present or does virtual work so he can look at film and all that other stuff? Does he actually need to be present in Indianapolis to watch the guys on hand physically, or does virtual work for you? I mean, I'm asking Smitty the same question, but I need to get your thoughts.
I think you gotta make a showing, let everybody know. You ain't got to reveal who you're gonna get. Just be there so that these guys can see you, and you can. I mean, you know, these guys are trying to audition. That's all it is. It's an audition. So they're trying to show you, and every year there's somebody that comes to that combine who people are saying, hey, they rank number 1,000 out of 1,000 people. And they come in that combine and put on a show. Xavier Worthy is a good example. Worthy comes out there. They say he's a good wide out, and he does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But he got then burns the 40, and now he played for a Super Bowl. You know, they didn't win. He's playing on a Super Bowl team. So hey, you never know what you get. So, and we know what the Falcons want. If the Falcons don't get defense, then it could be Atlanta. City of Atlanta could make the news. If I want, yeah, Zavon, I know exactly. But if the Falcons come in there in that first round pick and select a wide out, man, they may want to get Fontenot on the first plane out of Atlanta, undisclosed. Don't tell them where he's going because they gonna want to do something bad to him.
You think so?
Oh yeah, he better concentrate on defense and defense only. That's it. That's his goal.
Well, that's what Smitty coming on for. So we're gonna see what Smitty says and see to see how it goes. So my question is this though. Raheem brought in a brand new scouting staff last year. So this would be their second year scouting under this new regime. How much pressure do they have, in your opinion,
Well,
to get it right?
after that epic collapse last year, when you had good vibrations and everybody feeling, yeah, he should roll. You're exactly right. He does that. But you had all the good vibrations last year and everybody thinking NFC South champions at the least, and then all of a sudden the air comes out the tires and you got to pull over, and now Tampa Bay, who was in the same on the same highway, passed right by you and end up winning the NFC South. And you can't, people are not gonna forget that anytime soon. So he got to get this right. Raheem, Fontenot, Rich McKay involved, him, all of them got to get this right this year and pick quality players that's gonna help them. So, and here's a hint, Atlanta Falcons fans, and I'm gonna say it again on our show. There's a city that's not too far from Atlanta, has some pretty good talent coming out of it. May want to look down the road a little bit. It won't hurt you to look down the road. So we'll see how they handle it.
Yeah. Definitely go see. I need to post that.
Off with your head. Yep, you get. That's what they did. That's what she said. She ready to get us some folk.
All right, man. With that being said, you know what, Coach?
Yes, sir. What you got?
It is time for some hot news. Hot news sponsored by our friends at Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road. Big Easy Grill, the place to be if you want some Louisiana seafood. Big Easy Grill is the place to be. They said it's Atlanta's best kept secret, and I will concur. Big Easy Grill is 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Go over there and visit Big Easy Grill. Make sure you mention SRT or Sports Roundtable. Get you 10% off in the meals, $25 or more. All right, so NFL combines, Coach. Overrated, underrated? First question.
Woo. Well, for some players, it's not a necessity, because if you're being told by everybody in the country or everywhere around that you number one, top 5 or whatever, and there's evidence to back it up, what do you have to prove by going? And that's why I see a lot of them dropping out, because they have nothing to prove. And Sanders dropping out, that sounds like more of his daddy than anything else, I guess. But but those guys who want to improve their stock and they feel good about it, they're going to be at the combine and they're going to go there. And I like to call it the dog and pony show, where you put on your effort and get out there and show everybody, this is why you should draft me, because I can do this or I can do that. So, but the good thing you should do is going to field those questions, because over the next few months, he's going to get a lot of questions and a lot of comments. So he's gonna have to know how to answer them to the best of his ability. He can't go dry and not just say I ain't showing up at all. And then they got the pro day. They're gonna do what they do at the pro day, get comfortable with their wide receivers. So it's got a mixed bag for everybody. You got that guy who is considered like Josh Allen did that year. They were questioning his arm strength, and he uncorked a 70-yard pass on the fly. So hey, some people look at it as trying to improve themselves. And like Zavada said, diamonds in the rough are found in the company. You're exactly right. You're gonna find somebody in there that you ain't talked about a lot, but they're gonna perform and gonna move to a team and gonna help them greatness. So yeah, it has a mixed bag.
So with that being said, do you think some people don't go to the combines in fear that they may find flaws in their game?
Yeah, that too. Yep. You got some who, like I said, are up there high enough, and they go, and then something happens where something that they tried to keep a little on the hush hush gets exposed, and now everybody looking like, wow, I didn't know you like that, or I didn't know you that slow in the 40, or I didn't know your arm strength was that bad, or your blocking techniques are not good. Like at the Senior Bowl, I forgot that linebacker's name who came in on that offensive lineman and just destroyed him, and everybody said, "What? Where did he come from?"
Yeah.
And that pushed him up in the Senior Bowl, and he probably gonna be at the combine trying to do the same thing. So yeah, it's a chance for you to expose yourself to showing everybody that you are better than advertised, or you can slip up. And I saw a guy a couple years ago going, catching those wide out passes. He got hit in the head with the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he caught the wrist, but I'm like, dog, you got to be head on a swivel, young man, head on a swivel. So again, mixed bag.
All right. So for those who don't know, let's break this down, Coach. The NFL Combine is like having an interview in front of a panel in the conference room, but you physically are performing instead of just sitting down with a suit and tie. So your uniforms, the Combine Olympics outfit, that's your uniform. So that's the best way to describe what the Combine is and what it looks like.
Hold up.
Again, Coach.
Get
out
of there.
I see.
That's my once again my computer is going crazy. If I can.
Uh-oh. Coach done jumped off again. Coach need to get his computer situated. But yeah, the Combine, ladies and gentlemen, is basically an interview in front of a panel. If you were to walk into a conference room with your resume, they sit around and ask you questions. It's basically what this is, the NFL Combines. You're just doing it on the field. And then when you leave the field, you got to go and answer questions as well. So you're going to spend all day physically doing something, and then you're going to ask them questions, and they go as deep as who's your third grade teacher, and did you ever have free lunch? They want to know everything. Did you ever feel on girls when you was in elementary school? They want to know it all. No, Coach, I can't hear you. Coach trying to figure it out. Yep, cause you're right. Your resume is your game tape.
There we go.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
Okay.
The bigger, but this is the key though. Cuz say your resume is your game tape, but this is the thing. Your resume can be updated or downgraded at the combine. See, that's the thing. See, that resume can be upgraded or downgraded at the combine based on what you do in front of the people. Your resume can be upgraded, and that's when you say the diamond in the rough. That's when you see that. That's when your resume get upgraded.
Yep.
And then the ones that gets downgraded, you see them. You see them in the green room after the first round still.
Yep. Drinking as much whatever they brought to the table. Man, I'm gonna tell you this. If I was in the green room and I was one of them guys that's supposed to be picked early, I don't care what happens. I'm bringing me some food and something to drink. Now I don't care. I'm gonna sit there until they call my name. We gonna be eating and we're gonna be sipping on some Hawaiian punch or whatever we got. I don't care. I'm not just gonna sit there and not have anything to eat or drink. We're gonna have some food in there. Say what they want. Call me what you want. But when they pick me, then I come back and eat some more. I don't know. But just sitting there and looking lost. And I've seen, and those faces, boy, that is something to behold. To see those faces of those people who don't get picked, and they just sitting there with that look on their face, like,
Yeah.
Somebody told me wrong. Yeah, they did. You know, but
Now let me but this is the thing, Coach. This is the big kicker right here. As your resume gets upgraded or downgraded, they don't inform you until either you get drafted earlier or you don't get drafted until later. That's the telltale of what do they think about your resume.
yeah.
So I
So
mean, it's like, okay, so yeah, it's a sit and wait, and it's a sit and wait, and you got to take your time and take your time, and you have to temper your expectations. That's what a good agent would do: temper your expectations and make sure he's on the phone and keep you informed on every situation. What was that? What was that running back out of Boise State? Jay Ajay? You remember him?
yeah,
You remember how when he got to the combines, his resume got downgraded, and he just kept falling.
yeah, man. It that's the chance you take. You're right. That's the chance you take going into the combine. Whether you gonna be that dude or you gonna be that dude that they people don't want to talk about, and then now you gotta show uh what you can do. Everybody was looking at you like first or second round, and you go to the combine and have some slip ups. Now they saying fourth round, fifth round, but all of them need to be motivated by Tom Brady, who came out of the sixth round and did what he had to. Antonio Brown, he came out the sixth round. It all depends on what you do when you get invited. You get to the camp. You got to show and prove, man. Like I said, the combine, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers. But now I will say this: depending on how your resume goes, depending on the upgrade or the downgrade, that could be a blessing in disguise. Because do you understand the chip on the shoulder that you have going into your rookie year to outperform everybody who doubted you,
Yep.
a la Aaron Rodgers?
Hmm. Yeah. That,
Uh, who's another one that failed and actually showed out?
um, I'm trying to see. It's so many. I can't think of all of them. who just everybody was looking at dog. That's what you gonna give us, and you get and then next thing you know they get out there, and now they in the Hall of Fame. You
Yeah.
know, because all they needed was a chance. Like now, I didn't get drafted high, but just give me a chance, and I'm gonna show you what I can do in on this football team. And they go in there and go to work. So
Do you have a the most? Do you have the most disappointed draft pick for your team?
uh, who are we? What's his name? I can't think of, and his name right on the tip of my tongue. Played linebacker. No, I ain't. He didn't play linebacker, or did he? And he actually came from the University of Georgia. I'm looking at Jarvis Jones. Jarvis Jones, I
Oh
thought
yeah.
was gonna be a stud. He
Mm.
just all the air came out of him, and I was like, "Dog, Jarvis, you supposed to come in. They looking at you to wreak havoc, and you out there tap dancing around." And he never did hang on that long,
He was out
but
the league real quick, huh?
it didn't take long. That's the unforgiving part about this thing. You can be in there, and everybody can be happy for you get drafted. Then you come out there and wet the bed, and you out the league, and people say, "Well, at least you made it," which is crazy, but yeah, Jarvis Jones should have been still playing. Well, I ain't gonna say that because it was back a bit, but he should be. His name should be all over the place.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's talk about Cam or Shador. I see they got this little series going on where they are training together, and they are kind of throwing little subtle shots at each other, at the same time while they working out.
hmm oh
Uh,
yeah,
who out of the two, which one goes off the board first, based on the draft order?
I, I think Cam has somehow snuck up on everybody, and he may be the first person. Depend. I see the teams are leaning more toward him than Shadua, and I guess it's a thing with Shadua. They're looking at some of the statements that were made about he not going to this team and he not going to that team, and Cam has been in the background like I don't care where I go, we gonna win. So I don't know if that's hurt Shadua, but and I don't know who the draft expert is. Well, I can't call no expert because he didn't know what he was doing. Done thrown Jackson Dart ahead of both of them. I'm like, no, sir.
Oh
No,
yeah,
sir. Don't do that.
that sound like a buster coming up.
Hey, don't do that. Jackson Dart is not better than those two guys. He got an arm, he this and that, but Ward and Sanders were clearly head and shoulders above the quarterback draft class. So Cam, like I said, Cam might get picked up by Cleveland. And I smell a trade coming. Some one of those guys teams are gonna trade their draft pick for some more picks. So and like they guys say, you build your draft on day two with those third, fourth, and fifth rounders who coming in there and they help you draft. We know about the superstars, but what about those guys in the middle of the draft who gonna come in there and help you out when you
Mm-hmm.
need them? So we'll see. I mean, I hope they whoever picked Cam Ward don't make a mistake. Same thing for Shador. Like I
Is
said, he
is Cam,
won.
is Cam somebody that you would compare with a Jaden Daniels and a Caleb Williams, as far as the amount of time he spent in college, the amount of snaps that he's taken, and how he or how he has won everywhere he's gone?
Yeah, He's looking good. Like I said, the last part of the year was kind of suspect, but overall, he came from Washington State and all that area. He came to Miami and put him on the map, even though they faded down the stretch. But still, I think he's gonna have a good year. And Shador, if he can get that glue off his hand when that pressure coming and get rid of that ball, he gonna have a good year too. Because the NFL is not gonna be forgiving and let you take all them hits. That's gonna put you on the sideline with some kind of concussion or something. So he hopefully Tom Brady wanted with the Raiders. That means he got full access to him. So and he can work with him again.
So Cam looked like Cam was about 6'2", 223. Pretty decent size for a quarterback.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
He's a quarterback size, so we can't doubt that for sure.
Nope. Gotta be able to use your tools and be able to see over the line because you got them monsters on the line, 6'6", 6'5", all the big old guys. You gotta be able to see. Hopefully he can, like I said, use them legs to get around and do what he gotta do. So it's gonna be interesting, both of those guys.
Now, does a rookie season from C.J. Stroud back to back with Jaden Daniels, does this put any kind of unexpected expectations on either one of these quarterbacks that's coming in?
I don't think so. It's something to live up to. But Stroud and Daniels rookie seasons, it's gonna be hard to top that. I don't care how good. And those two were big time their rookie season. So it's gonna be hard. I wouldn't come out as a
You say you want to come out what, coach? Oh, you coach, you went coach is talking and he don't went mute.
am I back now?
Yeah, you back. You just talking and 6'2", cause he's 6'2".
Okay.
Both quarterbacks are 6'2".
Yeah, you don't wanna lose try to compare yourself to CJ Stroud and Jaden Daniels. You don't want to do it. That would be a serious mistake.
Well, they won't do it, but the narrative people, the people who control the narrative, they will do it.
Yeah, you got to ignore the outside, because people gonna talk about you anyway, good or bad. But you just got to try to show that you are two good, competent quarterbacks, and you can, because you're not gonna be on a good team. That's just a guarantee. Unless a trade comes up, you're not gonna be on a good team. Can you make them great or good? That remains to be seen. Cause nope, Jaden Daniels, I did not know he was gonna be as good. I knew he was gonna be real good. I didn't know he was gonna get them all the way to that as far as he did in the playoffs. So if they can pull that, if they can get that team to the playoffs, whoever it is, like if it's a Cleveland or a New York Giants or one of them teams, more power to them. They people are gonna compliment them. But if one of them go to the Giants and the Giants end up 3-14, something like that, first person they're gonna blame is the quarterback, regardless. So just don't try to do nothing spectacular. Just try to play the game and do what you gotta do. So we'll see.
Simple as that, huh?
That's it.
All right. Cole said if he had to pick a quarterback coming out, it'd be Shador for him.
Okay. Yeah. You can't go wrong with either one of them. I don't think you can. Can't go wrong. They going
Now, how important is it for the offensive coordinator to be good in both situations.
because you gotta use what you know to to get with the quarterback. You gotta play use your plays to the strength of the quarterback, whether it be Shador or Cam Ward. You can't come in there with what you taught last year and it's not working. Say you trying to do all passes when both of them can run, or you trying to run when there's no need to. You know, the offensive coordinators are gonna need to do something to help both those cats. Like I said, I can't say where they're going because I don't know, but both of them gonna have an offensive coordinator is gonna have to put them in positions to not fail because Caleb Williams, the offensive coordinator, didn't even give a care about him. Seemed like to get
Yeah,
him out there and get him killed like he was doing. So we'll see.
yeah, that was tough for old Caleb this past season.
Mhm.
All right, let's slide on down to this Mavs versus Lakers last night. I'm sure you were tuned
Are you
in,
on?
ready to go. You had your popcorn out last night, Coach?
HO, I can't hear you.
What about now?
All kind of problem tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what this.
Hmm.
Mm, mm, mm. What about now? Still nothing. You heard that?
Hmm.
All right, Coach go jump back in with us. I don't know what the technical difficulty was, but the Lakers Mavs last night, and you back with me, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Lakers Mavs last night in Lakerland. I'm sure you had your popcorn ready and you was ready to watch, right?
Yeah. Neither team is on my list of teams that I root for, but again, another mixed bag because everybody was like, okay, the Lakers didn't blow them out. The Lakers won. Luca had a good game. He played pretty solid, had a triple double. LeBron had a good game. But in the back of everybody's mind, Anthony Davis wasn't there, and those other big guys wasn't there for Detroit. I mean not Detroit, Dallas. So that may have had something to do with the how people feel about it or felt about it. They thought
Mm-hmm.
that the Lakers should have beat them by 30, but they beat them by 8. So the rematch is in April. So I want both of them to be at full strength when they play in April. Even though they probably won't be thinking about it by the end, but then they'll be in Dallas, so that's gonna make the game a little different.
Now, what has Anthony Davis done to award him a video tribute between timeout?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I haven't seen anything that they won the bubble thing, which I don't have any thought about. But I've seen no titles. And Anthony Davis, okay, he's shown up in games. He was dominant when he was in Los Angeles, but titles seem to be erased. And now you doing a video tribute. I guess they're saying, I don't know, we didn't want you to go or what. I guess that's what you call it. Please come back.
Yeah, that was a bit tough though to even stomach that. I'm like, a video tribute? What? I'm like, man.
It
I mean,
was
I'm
different.
not no Laker fan, but I'm just, even if I was, I would be kind of like, man, we we could have saw some pom pom girls come out during the halftime instead of watching that.
Yeah, it was different.
Yep.
That's for sure. It was.
But so you think they found a new thing now with Luca and Bron.
I still say that defense gonna rear its ugly head somewhere. They can outscore. They got to outscore a lot of people to win. I just don't see them. They beat Denver, but that was the first time in 14 tries. Everybody get a break every now and then. They came out there and they played an extremely good ball game, had a strategy going, and they went out there and they punished Denver, which nobody saw coming. But the Lakers are gonna be in the mix, but can they beat Boston? Can they beat Cleveland? Can they beat Oklahoma City? Can they beat, I don't know, Houston? That's what the talk. Even Golden State has managed to climb back up into everybody's thought process. I don't think they're gonna win it because it's still a lot. They're kind of young, but the Lakers are in the conversation. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Let me text Smith to tell him he can come on through so we can get this Falcon talk going.
Young Smith.
Hancock just texted me say he's still in traffic.
Oh Lord, he stay in traffic. He probably went to Memphis and try to hurt Zach Eady. That's why he in traffic. I'm just trying to get back. That's what it is. I'm trying to cripple my boy.
Yeah, that I see. Yeah, I just text Smith. Let's see what he got going on. All right, so you think JJ is the man for the job to have two big egos like LeBron and Luca on the same team?
Yeah,
I
seem
mean,
to be
that has to be the question that got to be asked.
he seemed to be handling it so far. But now he's buddy with LeBron because they had the podcast. He has to grow with Luca, where they can be buddies. So it's gonna be a chore for him to do what he does. With those two massive superstars in the league on the same team, which everybody wanted. Everybody saying, "Wow, Luca and LeBron." Let's see what they can do. So we'll see. It's gonna be JJ gonna have to coach big time. That's for sure.
What about Smith say he on his way? What about the the locker room atmosphere as far as both teams? As far as Luca comes in and immediately gets almost cherished because of who he is, but you got other guys on the team that's you can't move up because Luca just another big ego just walked into the locker room. So that's going to make your time last a little. That's going to make your time to shine a little longer. You got to be a little more patient.
Yeah.
But then in Dallas, is everybody conceding to this is Kyrie's team now since Anthony Davis is hurt and Luka is gone?
Yeah. I mean, Kyrie is the unquestioned leader, and somebody he better slap. I ain't gonna say slap. Better wake up Clay Thompson. He woke up a good bit in the Lakers game, but Clay been mighty quiet. He gonna have to come in. He got to realize he's the second shooter on the team, and he gonna have to show it. They had Luca and Kyrie now. Kyrie and Clay is K and K, so he got to
Mm-hmm.
step up and hit some big shots as well. Yeah, I haven't heard much about him, but like I said, I just want to see how it's gonna work when the Mavericks get everybody back. with all those bigs they got, those versatile bigs they got. And let's see how they work together, because all of them got hurt at the same time, which is crazy to see all that happening at one time. All for 3, 4 of them get hurt and not on the team, but they treading water. Dallas
Mhm.
is gonna be there.
Gotcha. All right, folks. Well, with that being said, we're gonna transition this thing over to the Atlanta Falcons report with my main man, Antoine Smitty Smith, Douglas High's own. Antoine Smitty Smith is in the building. Yes, sir. Smitty Smith, what's happening, bro?
Not much, man. Just chilling right now.
Well, I
Waiting
can't
on this
hear y'all.
combine to get going, and
Yes,
I've
sir.
been
All right,
watching.
I'm glad you talking about that. The first question, I'm jumping right in. I'm jumping right in.
Go ahead.
Hancock said he was gonna make it, but he stuck. He texted me say he was stuck in traffic because I was like, all right, Smitty may owe you an apology, so you got to be on air to do it. But either way,
Boy.
here we go. The combines. Is it important that Terry Fontenot show his face in Indianapolis as he is the GM of the Atlanta Falcons? Is it that important that he shows up at the combines, or is he going to rely on his scouting staff and his coaching staff?
Well, he can actually rely on his coaching staff, his scouts, things of that nature, because honestly, at this point, it's pretty much analytics. So that's something that he really don't have to feed into. But if he's gonna get some deals done, I suggest he show his face, even though they can talk over the phone, but ain't nothing like a good handshake. But I won't read too much into that because at the end of the day, like I said, it's about analytics.
Okay, analytics. Gotcha. All right. But it shows some good effort that he can get on a plane to go to Indianapolis to meet some of his future draft picks.
Agreed. And some of the questions that they are asking in interviews, I think it's probably good if he does show up. So he can get a feel for how people answer the question, get a feel of how their character might be, the tough question he may have. So yeah, in that aspect, with the interviews, I think he should be there.
Got a question that's off the NFL topic.
Okay.
Because he want to know what year did you come out of Doug?
98.
He listened to the show, so I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let him hear it.
Yep, 1998. Mr. May was my homeroom teacher. Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah. All right, my next question. Raheem Morris is there. He did a press conference. Impressed, or it didn't really make no difference to you, or what he said? How he glazed Michael Penix and all this other kind of stuff while admitting that him and Fontenot did not know Kirk Cousins was injured. But anyway,
Big bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was ducking questions like Barry Sanders running through tacklers. We've been hearing this the whole season, and honestly, every single interview he had another way to dodge a question. So, like we always said, if he could sell cars, he would be good at it because he finds a way to get around the direct answer. And honestly, if you read into his context as the way he's saying, he give you an inside look at what the Falcons doing exactly. Because as he said, if Grady Jarrett is not untouchable, I don't think anybody is, probably except for about 5 players. Outside of those 5 players, anybody can be traded for the right price.
For the right price. All right. A report just came out today or yesterday that Cleveland does not intend on trading Myles Garrett. Thought on that?
I don't buy into that because we've heard that with Von Miller. We've heard it with other players that said even Indianapolis said they were going to keep Peyton Manning at one point. But everybody's there for the right price. It all depends on what you're going to get. Because honestly, if you can get one of those top 10 picks and someone wants Myles Garrett, you go get Abdul Carter to take his place and then get another high draft pick with that. You're going to make that deal every day, twice on Sunday. One, because you don't have that big contract on your books no more. Two, you're trying to rebuild and go in a different direction. Three, you need a quarterback. So you're going to have to use that Myles Garrett money possibly to go get your quarterback. So, I mean, I don't buy into that because, like I said, everybody for sale. Everything got a for sale sign on at the right price.
$1 million man.
Yeah. All right, so this is the question everybody wanted to get an answer to. We saw that the salary cap money moved up $22 to $25 million.
Yep.
How does that help the Atlanta Falcons? Does that help them trick off? Does it help them trick off what they already go trick off, or does it help them get them back in the direction where we need to be?
I guess them going in the right direction. But honestly, they still only going to be like $11-12 million over, because they're like 11 plus million in the hole. So they're still going to get only really half of that. So I think it, from a GM standpoint, it gives you a little bit of positivity going to the new league year with some money instead of none. So what they could do is designate these players for contract restructures, add money onto that, and they still could go out and make a big move. It just depends on who they're willing to spend it on. We have a quarterback in place, so that's a good thing. But 25 million.
We have a running back in place as well.
Yeah, so we have about 6-7 good pieces in place already. So that's a positive. But if they want to go make a game-changing play and use that number 15 pick for a game-changing player, I think this is the time to do it. And honestly, as I've said to you many times, this may be Terry Fontenot's last go-around. So he got to pull every trick out the bag to go make something happen and improve on that 8-9 season from last year, which really should have been a playoff run. But we'll get into that another time. But yeah, I mean, it helps in the short term, but it also sets the stage as to what you want to do, restructuring contracts, making trades, and cap casualties.
Could you pay Drew Dalman $15 million a year? Can you make him the second highest paid center in the league?
Myself personally, I would say no. Yes, he's the anchor of the offensive line. But to see the way Ryan Neuzil played last year, he's a much cheaper contract, and you can draft a player or get a player from free agency for half or a third of a price of that. So to me, I wouldn't do it. But if they did do it, I would not be shocked. And they did not use the franchise tag on him. So that lets me know that it's a possibility he could walk. So to me, it's 50-50. But me, honestly, I would not do it because I can use that $15 million on probably a game-changing defensive player, something that I really, really need.
All right, Smith, I'm finna ruffle some feathers real quick, so bear with me. Not your feathers, because I know you don't care, but I'm finna ruffle some feathers in this question that I'm gonna ask you. Is it overrated for the Falcon fans to keep wanting Georgia players get drafted by Atlanta Falcons players, or do you think that it is in our best interest just draft the best players? I don't care what college they come from, and they have seen to do neither one. Now, because my question is this though: how do you think the Alabama fans feel? They the people who won the Super Bowl, which are the Eagles, have 7 Alabama players on their team.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's more Alabama players than Georgia players. But the key is they have 26 SEC players on their team.
Championship bread.
So Smitty, my question is this: why is it that it's a good story, I understand, but let's get into the SEC. If he goes to Texas A&M, if he goes to South Carolina, if he can play football, let's draft him. It don't matter if he's from Athens or if he's from South Carolina, whatever. So to me, my question is it overrated for that statement to continuously be had each and every year?
Yeah, I think it's slightly overrated. One thing that what you said is about the players on their roster. The common denominator, they're all championship bred from championship coaches. So it means something to that extent. But you got to understand, when you talk about need, do they really need that player at this moment? Yeah, I could have said, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter when they picked Bijan and Drake London. But at the end of the day, they needed those offensive players more because you got to remember you lost Julio. You lost your other offensive weapons.
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, exactly. So you got to look at one. And if you've been following Terry Fontenot, you would know from New Orleans days, he's going to go offense first, build that offense to put up the points. And then after that, he's going to go defense to help that offense to, or should I say, complete the balance, make the team balance. So offense is where he goes first. So now we're getting into the defensive territory. So this is why you've been hearing rumors about the Falcons only interviewing defensive players at the combine so far. So it's not a surprise. So it's just the way he builds teams. But again, I would have loved to see Jalen Carter. I thought he was a game changer, and I was correct. But again, when have you seen the Falcons with a dynamic running back? You don't see it too often because we all know the Atlanta Falcons love power backs. So it was a change of pace thing for Fontenot and his organization to go out to Bijan and Pitts because then we lost Julio Jones. So it's just all about need at that moment. And you got to remember with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, you got to still factor in Grady Jarrett into that equation. So with him being on the big contract and him being one of the key players on the team, you just didn't want to piss him off. So, it's just slightly overrated. It's just what's going on in your organization at the time.
Well,
that's all.
Let me add to that. And
go ahead.
Hear what I'm not saying. Even if the Falcons drafted a Jalen Carter, do you think we have the coaching staff that can develop this guy to be what he is? Do you think the Falcons, the Falcons organization is not known for developing talent?
I take it one step further than that.
Okay. So you see where I'm going with this?
I see where you're going, but I take a little further than that. Does Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter fit the scheme that the Falcons been running the last 4 or 5 years? That's a bigger key. Now, had either one of those guys came along when we had Ryan Nielsen, the guy who put us back on the map with sacks, and
that would have made a difference.
Yeah. So if we knew we were going to get him, I would have went either one of those defensive linemen. But if you don't have the right coaching staff around these guys to get the best out of them, why are you drafting them? If you look at what they did last offseason, Jimmy Lake was a rookie when it came to a head coach, but he had veterans on the field that he still didn't know how to coach. And you look on the offensive side of the ball, that's where they made the most noise. Zach Robinson came in, did what he needed to do. He adjusted as the season went on. Offense got better. Even when Kirk Cousins was sputtering, he was still drawing up good plays for this team to succeed. And when Michael Penix came in, he just showed y'all Zach Robinson is that guy. And honestly, this could be Zach Robinson last year in Atlanta, because if this offense does play like it did last year or even better, he's going to get a head coaching position. So you just got to take these opportunities while you have them. So with these defensive players that we've talked about, Michael Parsons, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, do they fit what the Falcons do on defense? That is the only question that I would have. And honestly, with a 3-4 defense, the only guy that would have fit is probably Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I agree. I just had somebody run the doorbell real quick. All right, Smitty, get ready. You might need to get your apology. You might get ready to get your apology set up.
I read
Mr. Hancock is in the building.
What's good? What's good?
Yes, sir. They got. I see you came right on in when Smitty was here. You tried to get that apology from him, huh?
Well, I'm a bigger man. I don't need an apology. It's just that certain things you see and certain things you look up with, feather covered glasses. So I think Smitty, being the
I
Falcon
wasn't
fan that he is, I'm sorry. I just think being the Falcon fan, I think some of your judgment on that stuff was a little clouded, but it is what it is.
that ain't me, bro. I tell it like it is, good or bad. I tell it like it is.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you don't tell it good or bad. I just think that sometimes I think we don't see stuff in its forms. And hey, I'm the same way, even though I'm a realist with the Cowboys. I think we're a long way away from what we need to be good. But getting back to Smitty, I just didn't ever think that the Falcons took the right approach. Once you made a decision to go and spend all that money with Kirk Cousins, your quarterback situation was set in stone, and you can't win now and later. I just thought it was a bad move to take Penix at that spot. Not to say that Penix isn't a great prospect, and he won't be a great quarterback for the Falcons going forward. I just think that when you have a pick that high, and you're saying we're in win now mode, you can't afford to let a high draft pick like that sit on your bench. And I just, I thought that was a bad move. The other thing, and I don't want this to be a rain on Falcons Day or get on Smitty, but I kind of came in on tail end, and I heard you talking about not taking a Jalen Carter, not taking a Michael Parsons because of the coaching staff. And I just don't understand that mentality. I think you take the best players in the draft, and we can sit and you can say, well, you didn't have the right coaches in place. Well, that's on the front office anyway. But I'm not going to take lesser players or players that I think tilt the field. It didn't make sense to me. I just don't understand that. I don't. There's no way I'm going to see it because this is not second guess. This is not third guess. I told you from the start that you go and you take Jalen Carter. You go and you get players from the Southeastern Conference. The Philly took that blueprint. And I know you're saying, well, some of the players didn't fit. Well, change your scheme. That's coaching. I mean, coaching is you fit your scheme to the talent you take. And if you have an opportunity to take Jalen Carter, you have an opportunity to take Michael Parsons, you have an opportunity to take these type of guys that are game changers, you do that. It makes no sense to me.
Look, this is the problem right here. I hear what you're saying. But are they going to put the right people around these players to make them game-changing players? If you look at Grady Jarrett and Jalen on your aging,
Smitty, what you putting around the players you got that's making the difference? That didn't make no sense. Why would I take players? Okay, I understand what you're saying, but you're not going anywhere with these players. These players aren't doing the things that I know Jalen Carter is going to demand a double team. I know Michael Parsons is going to demand a double team. If he's on the field and he's raising hell at that position, every time that quarterback and every time that offensive coordinator come out, they got to say, where's the 98 and where's the 11? And what does that do for the rest of your team? It makes a player that's not quite a high caliber player, his play goes up.
I've said that on my show 1,000 times, but as I goes back to what I said to HO, if they're not putting the right coaches and the right scheme in place, how are these players going to succeed?
Hey, man. Well, the next coach will have them because I will get those coaches out here and get somebody else in. It's easier to hire coaches than it is to find Jalen Carter's and Michael Parsons. That's my point. I mean, if they're not going to find somebody who can.
Think about this too, Hancock. What I just said about Terry Fontenot. Sometimes you got to look at the way GM builds their team. With the Eagles, they built their team through defense the last 20 years. With the Falcons, they built their team through offense the last 20 years. So that's not changing. So now that they've got their offensive pieces in place, now it's time for them to go out and get these game-changing defensive players. As I said on my show the other day, I would do whatever it takes to go out and get a Michael Parsons or a Myles Garrett right now. I don't care about no first round picks because at the end of the day, they 50-50. And you have to start having that mentality. So at the end of the day, man, it's on the GM and the way he builds his team. And
so you think that the Falcons offense now is set. They're ready now with still okay. You got to get Pitts out of here. He's not gonna work. I don't believe. But even if you do, what do you have opposite Drake over there? Because I have tried to come around. I still think he's a high level 2. I don't think he's a 1, but he has shown some promise. I'll give him that. I think Penix, you got to put some pieces around until he's able to elevate and understand pro football. I think he's a good start. He's got great running backs behind him. I think, to me, that's the biggest key that you have is that you have a tandem at running back that is, I mean, top 4 in the league. I think when you look at it as a tandem, without a doubt, to me, I think the Falcons' backfield is that good. But I think you need somebody opposite Drake. I'm not sold on Pitts. I would see what I could do.
You got to think about Darnell Mooney as well. Darnell Mooney played a solid role last year. Ray McLeod. But those are threes. I mean, those are threes. Come on, man. Those are not 1s and 2s. I mean, those are your third wide receivers to me. They should be playing. Their biggest, I guess, contributions on teams that are real teams would be special team guys and key and fit-in players. When they're your number 2, you are not a bona fide contender. When Darnell Mooney is your number 2, it ain't it. I mean, you need a legit. To me, Drake is a number 2. Go ahead. You make my point right now as to what I said earlier. When I said the way GM build team, if you keep using that mentality, Falcons gonna take a wide receiver at 15. So they've had to change it up. You look at the wide receiver that they do have. I did a draft profile on the guy from UNLV, and I think can come in and be a solid number 2 right away, or a solid slot receiver. So on day 2, they're gonna have to probably look at a receiver, or day 3 with that 4th round pick. But honestly, right now they really don't have a choice because Grady may be gone at $16 million with the cap space. Then you look at Onyemata, another $8 million. They really drafted their replacements last year. So now it's time to go get the edge rusher, probably go get a solid veteran at nose tackle if you're going to stay in the 3-4 defense. And just start building that because the linebacker room was trash last year. So it's just so many spots on that front 7 that you have to look at. You can't ignore it no more. So
let me give you Smitty. Let me give you an ideal situation real quick while you're on that. If Terry hits on defense and hits on this draft, and they play out, and they get to the playoff and they win the NFC South, the only indication to me is the New Orleans Saints kicked them off the payroll. Bottom line, the New Orleans Saints has finally kicked them off the payroll, and that is it. So with that being said, I got to ask you this. Do you think it'll be in the Falcons' best interest to sign a tight end and move Kyle Pitts to a receiver and let him be the number 2?
They'll never do that. They'll never do that. One, if he gets paid as a wide receiver, it's gonna be $20+ million, and he's not worth that. And even that tight end, it's gonna be 15+. So he's not worth that either. So their best interest is to move him as soon as they can when the new league year starts in 2 weeks. So they better have a plan on where to ship him off, where they can get the best compensation for him. And I think Kansas City, that was my first thought with Travis Kelce possibly retiring this offseason or next year. Kyle Pitts goes to Kansas City. They probably can unlock his talent. And we get probably a 2nd round pick for him. I think that's their best bet when it comes to Kyle Pitts.
You can find a tight end out of Iowa somewhere, out of Michigan. You can find a tight end. I've been saying that for the longest. That's why it was so disappointed that you took Kyle Pitts that high. I mean, you go down the league and you look at your top tight ends in the game, they're fourth round picks. They're down in the draft. You don't go I mean, that's not a premium position to take in the draft that high. And it was a dumb, stupid move by the Falcons to do that.
It was a panic move. That's what.
But my point on it, now that you have Penix as your showpiece as your rookie quarterback, you said a minute ago that a team that the Falcons have built offensively. So again, I'm asking, if you're building offense, I don't think you can do both. I don't think that you can be. There are very few teams that are as good on defense as they are good on offense. They have holes. As good as Kansas City's record was, their defense was the catalyst. Their offensive line was atrocious. They were trying to piecemeal to get it together. Their wide receiver room had rookies and tape to get through that season. That shows you what coaching can do. When you look at Philly, their GM, I don't know how he's doing it. I honestly don't. When you look at how he's put that team together with
he's not scared to take a chance, and that's what I said the Falcons need to do. I've been saying that since they took Vic Beasley when they could have moved up the board a couple of spots and took Khalil Mack. Sometimes you got to make those decisions. And as I said on one of my shows the other day, we talk about the Julio Jones trade to this day. If I'm Atlanta right now and I know I need an edge rusher that's going to change the game, I would find a way to move all the way up to number 2 to go get Abdul Carter. I wouldn't even be standing them picks. If I can keep my second round pick, I can trade that back and get more picks. But that would be my mindset in this draft, is to go get a game changer player. It's just no way around it anymore.
But how do you feel about your offensive line? Is your offensive line, is it good enough to protect Penix? Is it going to continue to churn out yards on the ground? Are you setting solid there? You really feel good about that?
Oh yeah, that's the top 3 line in the league, especially when it comes to running the football. When it comes to running the football, we top 3 easily. Pass wise, we're probably still top 10. So Caleb McGarry has 2 more years on that right side, and this Penix is blind side. And I know he has problem with edge speed rushes on the end, but this is why they got a guy like Tony Warner to come in and help block on that side. So it's a way around that. They set it in line for at least the next 2 to 3 years.
All right. So still at the number 2 receiver, because I guess your Drake London is going to be your 1. So who is there anybody in free agency that you might have your eye on? I know you talked about some draft picks, but is there any free agent out there that you thought you could bring in that already knows the lay of the land of the NFL? I mean, who could you go out and get?
Oh, that's easy. Cooper Kupp. I know he's been hurt, and I know he's been had it tough the last 3 years. But when you talk about a veteran receiver, when he's 100%, he's one of the best receivers in the league. He can come in and play opposite Drake London, or he can play in the slot, and they can flip-flop him and Mooney how they feel. And if you go out and get a receiving tight end, he opens up the middle of the field. That makes everybody, more dangerous. So it's just ways around it, man. And I think they're just going to have to find a way to do that. No more shortcuts. Shortcuts have hurt.
That's that Zach Robinson connection there, huh?
Right.
Okay, I see where you went there, Smith. I see that. All right, real quick. You got to draft at 15. If you don't move up, if you got Jalen Walker,
Mike Green.
Mike Green. If you got Mike Green, Walker, and what's the other one? The big guy? Not the linebacker, but the defensive tackle.
The one I did the profile on is Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. He's one of my sleepers in this draft. If I'm at 15 and Jalen Walker is on the board, I got to go Jalen Walker because I talked about Michael Parsons earlier. I got to go Jalen Walker because he fills 2 needs at once. Your linebacker room was trash, and he also brings coverage. He's a sideline guy, and he can get after the quarterback. And as I've said in previous shows, this league is now built on mobile quarterbacks. So you got to have somebody with speed and awareness to spy these guys to make sure they don't get out of hand. Because if you saw it last year, when we played mobile quarterbacks, they killed us on the ground, like Jalen Daniels did in Washington. If we had a linebacker that could spy him and keep up with him, we win that game easily. So at this point, at the linebacker position, it's about being able to spy. It's about being able to come off the edge of the edge rushing. Is also have to be able to cover at the linebacker position, cover the middle of the field.
So Jalen Walker over Mike Green, and but Mike Green been getting all the push. Will he be there at 15? Will Jalen Walker?
Even if he is Joe, I still don't think we get him because we've seen character issues pop up, and we all know with the Atlanta Falcons when it comes to character issues, that's a red flag to them, and that's a no-go. The reason why, go back to Jalen Carter, probably the reason why he's not here.
Okay. I can dig that.
Yeah, but he wearing the Super Bowl ring right now.
Hey, I'm for it, man. Hey, look, no complaints from me. I'm just saying, after that situation with off the field problems, they're gonna always be a red flag. And like you said, I agree. Jalen Carter is a game changing player, but at the end of the day, I just don't think they want to ruffle feathers with Grady Jarrett. That's what I think it boiled down to.
So, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, Grady Jarrett has his time here. We still holding on to a guy that got you so far, and you're still worried about Grady Jarrett. Why are we worried about Grady Jarrett? Grady Jarrett is not. I mean, I could understand. He's not.
Back in 2023, Hancock, 2023, that I think they should have traded Grady Jarrett. I'm the person to say that. I got fried for it, but now it seems like I was absolutely right because look, ACL injury, I don't think he's going to be the same, and you seen the drop off last year. So they got to move him.
Yeah, I mean, it always sounds like I'm just beating on the Falcons because I'm a Cowboy fan, but I mean, we got our own problems again. I'll state that ever. But the Falcons have made, to me, some mistakes, even going back when they signed Julio to that last deal. That to me was crazy. Signing Matt Ryan to that deal. That was crazy. You throw money into your organizations. It just was the wrong thing. And I know Big Homie heard me. I know we talked about it for a long time. I said that those two decisions retarded the progress of the organization. You cannot just stay low. One thing that the Steelers used to do was always get rid of their players a year or two early. They got away from that when they held Polamalu too long. And you can see that now they haven't been the same organization.
Big Ben.
But organizations, Big Ben, that's what I mean. But they did Polamalu before they did Big Ben. They held on to both of those guys too long. And when you have to make the decision for your organization if you really are a football people. And I think sometimes people get caught up in trying to live through, yesteryear or what a player has done for you in the past. It's time to move on. So,
until the Falcons build a strong foundation, ain't nothing gonna change. You've got to put in a foundation in place and stick to it. Put a blueprint down and stick to it. Steelers have a blueprint in place for their defensive players. They went by for the last years, and they've stuck by it. And as you see, every year they find a way to win. So you got to have a good blueprint and foundation to build on to become a winning organization. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and that starts in the leadership. That starts in the front office.
Exactly.
Everything. So I totally agree with you on that. All right, Smitty, what we gonna do about this kicker situation with the Falcons?
Find him, because last year Younghoe Koo had a hip injury. We knew about it. They didn't do nothing about it, and it cost us some games probably. But at his age, and he's been around a while, and he doesn't look it. But go find a younger guy. You don't have to pay $4 million to a kicker. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a lot for a Younghoe. That's for sure.
Come on, coach.
Coach is therapy, so he got to get it off as much as he can.
I feel it.
Hey, Smitty, let me ask you this, because I heard you talk about some wide receivers that may have caught your eye. there's a kid in Ole Miss that I think is going to be a star in the league, and that's Trey Harris. You, I think I don't know where he might fall in this draft. I got to see what Mel Kiper says, but I'm telling you, he's going to be somebody that's going to come into this league, and he's going to take the league by storm. I believe he's a bona fide wide receiver, and playing down there for Kiffin, I think helps him because he was in a passing offense, knowing how to run routes. Big time receiver can go get the ball. So, would you like to see him in a Falcon uniform?
Oh, I would love it. I watched film on him the other day. Reminded me of Roddy White. Got the speed, got the athleticism. You like you said, crisp route runner. Decent hands.
Decent hand, very good hand.
I think he's going to be one of those ones that slips into the bottom of the first round. I think they had him listed as a third round talent, but I think he slips into the bottom of the first. That's one you could see in Kansas City or Buffalo.
Okay. He should be at the combine, right?
Right. And one of his teammates, I did on mock draft of mine, Trey Amos. He's going to be one of those guys that slip probably in day 2. I can see him in Atlanta because he's 6'2", about 200 pounds, big corner. And in the NFC South, you got those big wide receivers. He's going to be one that probably is going to sneak into day 2. So that's another guy I would like to see because Ole Miss was stacked. Chris Paul Jr., Walter Nolan, that defense was stacked last year. So you can see about 5 Ole Miss players come off the board in the first 100 picks.
Okay. All right, Smitty, give us. I think you've given us some sleepers, but any other name that nobody's talking about that we need to be talking about that the Falcon needs to be targeting in this draft?
Wide receiver, and I talked about it on one of my shows. Ricky White III, former Michigan State wide receiver, went to UNLV. Had 1,500 yards about 2 years ago. Good run out to the catch guy, long speed. He knows high football IQ when it comes to finding spots on the field. And he's another one of those guys, they say day 3, but whoever gets him, they're going to get a steal. He reminds me of, I would say, Xavier Worthy, who the Chiefs drafted last year. With that long speed, he's just one of those guys that I think could just come in and make a difference. And as you said about the wide receiver position, it's one of those positions you don't have to be drafted in the first round. If you come in willing to work on your game, you can make it in the NFL. And he's one of those guys I think is going to do it.
Could you see the Falcons drafting a tight end in the 4th or 5th round from Iowa, Michigan, or even Notre Dame?
Now there's a Michigan tight end, Loveland. He's probably going to go in the first round or high second. He could come in and probably do what Kyle Pitts is doing, but honestly, I would probably look on day 3, and honestly, whatever you get for Kyle Pitts, that probably could be your tight end pick right there. So, I think they only have one day 3 pick, and that's a 4th rounder. So if they go tight end, it's probably going to be one of those 7th round picks, and that's not a bad thing because remember George Kittle was a day 3 pick out of Iowa.
Right, exactly. That's what I keep saying. You get a tight end out of the Midwest. Every draft class, you can go get a tight end, somebody like that.
Hey,
that's what I did.
Gave me an idea. That's gonna be one of my draft profiles. I'm gonna go tight end, and I'm gonna look at that tight end from Iowa. I saw him a little bit this year, but I got to do my research a little bit more on it.
Okay. All right, Smitty. That's all I got. Anybody else, Coach? You got a question? Hancock, you got any more questions for Smitty?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, you done roasted me today. I know you ain't got no more questions.
I didn't mean to roast you, man. I didn't mean to roast you. If I did, I apologize. It's like talking sports with you.
It's all love, man. It's all love. I enjoy the challenge, my brother.
Yeah, there you
go. My man.
For sure, man. Listen, if it wouldn't be good, man, we wouldn't have you on, man. We sure enjoy having you on, and I have my folks. Every time I say you coming on, folks send me questions all day.
Hey, man, look, when the new league gets started, I got to come through because it's going to be a lot to talk about when the new league gets started. We're going to know exactly what kind of direction the Falcons going to go in the draft once the free agent period gets to rolling.
All right. Well, we'll holler at you in a couple of weeks because that's when the new league started. What, March 12th, right?
March 10th is
March
the
10th.
illegal tampering period. March
Yeah,
the 10th.
and that is the day after the time spring forward too. Time spring forward March 9th.
Facts.
So I'm just educating everybody to make sure you get ready. Don't be late to church on Sunday on the March 9th.
Don't get my sleep, trust me.
All right, Smitty, man, we sure appreciate it. Before you go, man, how did you like LeBron and Luka play last night?
I absolutely love that combination. Only thing I don't like is they're both ball dominant, which is probably going to hurt the Lakers in the end. But they're building around them, and they're learning how to work together. And Bron is going to be the bigger man and the veteran and take the back seat and let Luka do his thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Bron decision. I think that's a Laker decision.
Yeah, he know it. Yeah, he know it.
Now, for me, is it me or is it have y'all seen this? It seems like LeBron don't have no hair during the game, but at the press conference, he all lined up. I'm just saying.
Man, you ain't right. You got it. Look, if Stephen A can keep his hair, LeBron can keep his.
Yeah, but okay, well,
Stephen A ain't even got no hairline. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, but we yeah. And if you happen to see him in Atlanta, please call me because I got a message for him.
Hey man, I'm not gonna let you do anything to Stephen A. Now, God dog, you gonna leave my boy alone now. He comes in peace.
Tell him to meet me on Bankhead.
Yeah, you gonna meet you on Bankhead? Trust me, you're not.
No.
Yeah. Bring your bodyguards with him because I got some goons over there that ain't play the radio.
You ain't gonna go past Peachtree, trust me.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let everybody know where they can find you on YouTube and your latest show.
Find me on YouTube, man. Smitty Sports Machine. I'm putting out daily content on the draft. Right now, catch me on the NFC South Roundtable as well. Taking a little hiatus, but you can check out some of my stuff I did for the NFC South Roundtable on YouTube as well. Catch me on Twitter at FatboySlim_21. You see it right there on the screen. I'm always on Twitter blowing it up because that's what I do. But yeah, free agency coming. So new content is coming, and trust me, I will be back through here to talk to y'all guys, and we're gonna talk free agency, and we're gonna see where the Falcons and the Cowboys gonna go at that point.
There you go, man.
There you go.
All right, Smitty. We'll holler, bro.
Hold it down, Smitty.
No doubt.
All right, man. Smitty Smith, the Sports Machine. Hand, glad to see you got through that traffic.
Yeah, it was a rough ride, man, but we made it in.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you. Somebody said you was trying to get to Memphis probably after hurting Zach Edey.
I don't have to hurt. Believe me, I don't have to hurt Zach Edey. Zach Edey hurt himself. Memphis hurt themselves with that draft pick, but it'll be all right.
And Memphis is playing well. What do you mean hurt with that draft pick?
Man, that was a bad move, man. What's your boy averaging now, Smitty? I mean, Coach. I'm sorry.
10-7.
That's gonna be a nice dinner, Coach. When we gonna get together?
Season not over with yet.
Yeah, I like a lot of seasoning on my shrimp and stuff too, Coach. So, hey man, this ain't the league for that guy, man. And you can see, I said the other night, Ja was a little frustrated where he was missing passes and not doing the same. This ain't the league for that, man. It's just not. So we'll see. No, we won't see. We're already seeing. To me, I mean, honestly, Coach, what do you see? Do you honestly see this guy being a force in the league?
He could be if they didn't freeze him out, and John Moran wasn't trying to do halfway dunks every game. You know, they don't want to.
So you should. So give him the ball. Make him the biggest part of your offense and play through Zach Edey.
No, you don't have to do that. Just get him the ball when he get down there. That's 7-4. You got to give him the ball. That opens up. Look, just like Jokic. Jokic get the ball, you don't know what's about to happen. Is he gonna shoot? Is he gonna pass? What is he gonna do? Edie got skills to be able to do all that. You know, they collapse down on him. And then
Yeah,
somebody
but they
go.
don't. But you can't mention him and Jokic in the same. Jokic might come and he might spot up. He might run the offense from the top. He might put it down at the elbow to get to the rim. He can pass out of the double team. I've seen him do so many things with the basketball, and you can run your offense through Joker. I'm not sure I can see that out of Edie, man. I just don't know what people see. I I cannot see it. He might be great in the G League. Him and Bronny, they might be awesome down there. But playing with the big boys is just not gonna happen, man. I don't see it. He's just too slow and cumbersome, man. He doesn't move well. I don't see it. I don't see this dude ever being anything but like a what's the big boy in Philly playing behind Embiid?
Mhm.
Hmm.
His ceiling will probably be him. Out of UConn, big homie.
Out of
I can't
UConn.
think his name right now. Yeah, he played at UConn.
To beat.
Not to beat. No, he's playing now. He's behind. He's playing behind Embiid now. Let me think. I'll get his name while we're doing something. Just keep going.
Everybody
All right.
ought to know him since he ain't playing. Embiid ain't playing. Everybody should know who he is.
I'm going to that box score now. I'll get his name.
All right. While you doing that, we're gonna go to Baller Busters and Boy Stop.
Oh, you talking about Andre Drummond?
Drummond. That's
Yeah.
his ceiling to me. He's a Andre Drummond.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, do
That's
you
how.
see anything?
Yeah, Maurice said Drummond. He was
That's
in
him.
Drummond. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that to me that's the ceiling. I don't see anything more than that. He might have a couple of years where he's really on the boards or whatever, but when you take a pick, I just don't understand. When you take picks that high, you got to be willing to do something that they move the needle in your organization, and I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Well,
I hate it because that's my home team. I'm from Memphis, but boy, that pick just irritated me.
all I can say is you may not want that as much seasoning as you think you want.
Hey, Coach. With that being said, I got Maurice. I see Maurice in the chat, so it's a good time for me to ask Maurice what his thoughts on Hubert Davis getting an extension, and and North Carolina finally getting a college GM. So, Coach, you should be smiling. They should improve recruiting. So, a big man should be coming here pretty soon.
Yeah, they got one coming next year. Will be one of the top players in the nation, but that's next year. You
Yeah,
know.
I understand. All right. With that being said, baller busters and bus stop. Let's go. Put your ballers and busters and bus stops in the chat, and let's read them out. I'm gonna go ahead and start first. I'm gonna take this all the way down to the Duke land, and my baller gonna be Zion Williamson.
Oh
He
Lord, what did he
becomes
do?
he becomes the third fastest player to get 5,000 points, and he did it missing a year and a half of a season. Just to tell you how dominant he's been when he's on the court.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
All
Mama
right.
told me when you ain't got that good to say, you be quiet.
That's why
Hey.
that's why Coach going next instead of you. Go ahead, Coach.
my ball is a team, and I'm gonna go with the Detroit Pistons, who done doubled their win total from last year. They won 14 last year. They're already in the 30s. And I know a lot of people not talking about them because they Detroit, but they get in the playoffs. They could be one of those teams that could scare somebody. Now, winning, I ain't putting nothing on, but I guarantee they're going to put some fear into some people if they somehow sneak a game out of a playoff series. I'm going to go with Detroit for my baller.
All
That's a
right.
good play. I like that, Coach. I really do. My ball is Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy has come in and not only breathed life into Golden State, but he's got people now kind of looking over their shoulder in the West. And uh, initially, if you talked to my son, he and I talked about because he's a big time Golden State fan, and he was trying to think what they needed. This was in the beginning of the year, and I told him Jimmy would be a great fit for them. But once they did get to the point where they were bringing him in, I was like, yeah, I think he could help them, but I'm not sure they could still get over the hump. I don't pencil them in as a Western Conference winner. I do think they'll make some noise, and I think they'll scare some people. But the way he's changed and opened things up for Steph to be able to, I mean, you can see the difference. He's getting 30 now in 3 quarters. Like he was struggling to get 20. So the way they're playing, he's opened up a lot of things. He's got Draymond. What he's done, big homie, we always say about being able to get people in their proper places.
Mm-hmm.
As he's come in, he's made everything kind of fit, and they become a better ball club. So he gets my baller right now.
I got an honorable mention baller as well. Honorable mention baller and big homie. This might be yours as well, but it got to go to Jay's from Jay's Used Cars for extending the olive branch out to nephew.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, he didn't even hesitate, man. I say, hey, listen, I need you to look into something. He called me the next day, said, hey man, it might be raining, but let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. So Jay's
man.
You get you a baller, man, for sure.
Shout out Jay's Used Car. Y'all go down there, man. If you need them wheels, go down there and see my boy. He'll put you in some.
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, on the serious tip, man, that's a blessing. Looking out for my young fella, man. I appreciate it. I got to chop it up with him the other night. I went in and talked to him. So
yeah,
it was a good time. It was a good time to talk to fam, man. That's fam, baby. We go way back. So I appreciate that, man.
Look at Cub trying. He might try to get $10 from me. Yeah. Oh boy! All right, Buster time. It is Buster time. Boy, I was trying to figure out who can I make my Buster this week. But I'm gonna predict the Buster. My Buster gonna be the Atlanta Falcons with the draft.
Man.
Somehow they gonna screw this up. They gonna screw it up big time, and I can just feel it. I can feel it. They just go screw this up, and it's gonna be ugly.
You betting on the Buster to come. They haven't even busted yet. You call them a Buster, big homie.
They've been busting all season. They didn't do what they needed to do. I think it's something else that for the right now. But right now they gonna be my Buster. Coach, what you got?
I had some. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the Green Bay Packers crying about the tush push. Stop it, goddammit. If you can't stop it, don't cry about it. They shouldn't be doing it. It's not good for the game. It's not good because you ain't think of it. That's why. Everybody else ain't complaining. Stop it. All you gotta do is get down low with them and stop them.
Hey, but one way to stop that to be in that play is to keep them out of 3rd and 4, keep them out of 3rd and 3, because if they get it to 4th and 2, 4th and 1.5, they're going for it. So you got to keep them in long situations. If you can't keep them in like a 3rd and long, you're in trouble. So yeah, that to me, that's the key to trying to stop it. It's not you. Once the play is there, it's a wrap. So the key is to stop it before they get to those situations.
Exactly.
Yeah, my Buster is the NBA decision makers, and I think you just have to play basketball. I think that they've let so much noise come in to talk about fixing the game that they've overfixed it. trying all these gimmicks and all that. Look, man, every All Star game has some kind of problem. The NFL's Pro Bowl now is a flag football game. They haven't taken as much heat as the NBA game, but the reason is because you have a mixture of fan base in the NFL. The NBA is the NBA All Star Weekend was a soulful celebration, if you know what I mean. It was where a lot of African Americans migrate to. They have a lot of parties, they know whatever. So this to me is nothing but history repeating itself. People don't remember before Magic and Bird brought the league back. The league was taking slings and arrows for being too black, for being having a drug problem, for being unwatchable, and all this type of stuff. So until it gets a certain demographic to take it back, it's going to always be slings and arrows. And they'll polish over things to make things seem like yesteryear was so great. I watched a lot of NBA All Star games, and the games didn't get good to the fourth quarter. I mean, it wasn't like everybody was out there playing defense for the whole game. It was a lot of shooting and running and whatever. But the problem is those guys in All Star game didn't like each other. That's the thing. There was no fraternizing during the season. But these guys, a lot of these kids and people that are in the All Star game now, they played together growing up. And all these AAU teams and whatever. So it's a different game. It's a different vibe, and there's so much money involved. I hear people saying that they should go out and play hard and do whatever, but you have $1 million athletes going out here and playing them in a meaningless game. So if they go out there and blow a knee, the same people that are talking about they should play hard will be the same people talking about, well, this has derailed their season, and this was not a great decision to go out there and play as hard as they did. And so you can't have it both ways. If the ultimate goal is to win an NBA championship, the NBA All Star game is not going to be the NCAA finals, the NBA finals, the Super Bowl is not going to be. It's going to be what it is, a celebration of all your athletes out there. So it is what it is.
I got you. All right, Cuz said his bus is Florida Gators are losing to Georgia. Now that sounds like a backhanded compliment to me. Florida the buster is Georgia the baller. So I don't have no boy stop, but I have a baller that I forgot to mention. And Coach, I am so surprised that you didn't mention this. I'm shocked, Coach. Matter of fact, I'm so shocked that I'm disappointed. Camp Creek Middle School, Nevaeh and Anderson. She's a 7th grader who plays in middle school for Camp Creek Middle School, who lost in the playoffs 56-50. And guess how many points she scored?
Was that the young lady? I thought she scored 50 this year, something like that.
48 out of the 50.
40, yeah. I thought I saw something about that.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you.
You may have.
So, Coach, I'm surprised that wasn't your baller, but I backed you up and gave her one anyway.
You did.
You already knew about it though, right?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send it to you, Coach. Yeah, Nevaeh Anderson, a 7th grader, Camp Creek Middle School, went for 48, and those teams scored 50.
They knocking at her door. There's gonna be some calls being made.
Absolutely. All right, with that being said, Han, we're gonna go back. We're gonna ask you, Cam or Shedeur. Both are 6'2", height wise. Cam is 220. Shedeur is 215. They're both in this little series working out with each other, throwing jabs. But who would you take as a GM? Does it depend on your offensive coordinator? Does it depend on the scheme? Is it even fair that they're going to be compared to Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud as rookies. Unfair,
Well,
fair, and who you taking?
the head is heavy that wears the crown, man. When you are in the limelight like that, all bets are off. You have to take what comes with that, that high praise or that high standing. So I don't begrudge anybody that's going to shine light on them. They're going to be compared to successful quarterbacks that preceded them. That's the nature of the business. As far as and again, before I go any farther, look at these two guys. This is my point about how rivals work out together, know each other. It's a different day and time. So these guys don't have an animosity toward one another. You can see the love that they have by the jabs and whatever they're doing. So that same thing goes with these kids playing basketball. But anyway, getting back to your point, who would I take? Uh, I've been a Shador fan since I watched him play these last 2 years. I think his pocket presence, I've watched him stare down the barrel of oncoming rushes, get hit in the mouth, and still deliver footballs. Um, Cam to me is maybe the more athletic quarterback when we look at it. I think to me, when I look at being able to escape and maybe make a play with his legs, he looks to me like the more durable or the more athletic quarterback between the two. Um, I guess I'm still leaning towards Shador because like I said, I think his ball placement, his accuracy, I've seen be on display a little bit more than what I saw with Cam. And that's not to have a knock at Cam because his coolness under pressure is unmatched to see how he stands in the pocket and just so relaxed. So I would take either one of them. Don't get me wrong, but I would if I'm a GM, I'm taking Shador, but I wouldn't be pressed if I had to take Cam.
All right. I did skip, but did y'all have a boy stop?
I didn't, big
I got a
homie.
girl stop.
Go ahead, Cole. What you got?
I got a girl stop. Uh,
Okay.
Angel Reese. Will you stop trying to shoot threes? Stop that. You a doggone 2 or 10 from the 3-point line. You're not helping your team shooting threes. Your mid-range game has gotten better, but you out there trying to prove something by shooting threes. That ain't gonna work when Chicago tip off in the WNBA. Y'all already down several players, and teams have gotten better. Y'all didn't get better, so you go out there and try to shoot threes if you want to, and
And
they able
Dree
to
said
get
she got her
rebounds.
own hamburger at McDonald's. She ain't stuff what you got to say, Coach.
Yeah, well, she can eat that old dry hamburger if she want to. They're gonna be looking at her.
You know what gets me, and I saw this the other day, and she gets, for all the toughness that everybody wants to have, and they say basketball is too soft. She plays as physical as anybody I see play basketball, and her game. You know who her game reminds me of, and Coach, you know this guy. He was an all star. He went by the moniker 444. She plays like my man. She
Not
goes to the
Malone.
board. Yeah, she throw the ball up and she go get it. She put it back up. She might pad her stats and get 3 rebounds off getting that 2 points. But if you go back and watch Moses play, that's what he did. He was tough. He went out to every rebound. He scored in the paint. He posted hard, and she does the same thing. But because she's a girl or whatever, and she doesn't play a beautiful style of game, she gets criticized. But she plays as hard and as tough as any man in the NBA right now. If you watch her play, so I hope she keeps, putting that elbow on people and running through people. She plays tough. So all the people that want toughness, she giving it to you
The reason why
every
she
game.
the reason why she's considered soft hand is because of her attire on IG.
Uh-oh.
I tell you what, it need to be some other folks wearing some skims and whatever too. Then, because it be maybe some players in the NBA, some men need to get some skims because she
Hey,
play hard, dog.
now see and that's the thing. That's I mean, her game is much improved, but Angel, stop! Don't get on social media talking about I'm just sick of being sexualized and you wearing half or nothing. I mean, everybody
Well,
see what you wearing. You can't talk about sexualization and you going on there half butt naked. Come on,
but you
man.
got a point there, coach. You got a point there. Because that day
Stop
when
playing.
she went to that Las Vegas game with them shorts on and that top on. All
Yeah,
bets was off. They said what they
yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Sanders, they tried. They at one point they were talking about her and Shador together.
yeah. Shador kind of played her. He walked by, didn't acknowledge. I saw that, but I don't know. That could be a game too, just like we saw Bam and uh, Asia Wilson. Now they together. They kind of played that like they weren't for a long time until I guess they let it out.
Yeah, they booed up.
All right. All right. Let's get to our roundtable discussion real quick. Are we buying the fact that the San Antonio Spurs and the NBA forcing the Spurs to tank this year because of Wemby's and Pop's absence for the rest of the year? Are we
Yeah, I thought that was kind of suspect too, big homie. When I looked at it, I was like, this to me seems just like the Tim Duncan thing. What they did when they were able to get him. So I wouldn't put it past the San Antonio organization because they've done stuff like this in the past. And not to say that Wemby might not have the vein thrombosis or whatever it is, so he could be there, but I don't know. It just seemed to come out at kind of like out of the blue.
Well, yeah. All I can say is this: when I was in the hospital, I had shots for deep vein thrombosis. I mean, for blood clots, and I don't play around with stuff like that. That's scary.
Yeah.
Blood clots. I had to make sure nothing was forming. So I hope he's able to come out of it. I hope that they say it's not career ending. Thank goodness. And that dude, man, he is they call him a unicorn, a freak, whatever you want to call him. His fluid game. He remind me more of a 7 foot George Gervin, the way he be
Yeah.
playing.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I looked at him in the beginning. I thought he'd be like in that Ralph Sampson mode. And I thought if the game had been changed to where it is now, Ralph Sampson could have been this. I thought he was that kind of player. I
I
don't
was
think he
gonna say
gets.
that, I was gonna say that. Yeah, we've seen women before, and I was gonna mention Ralph Sampson's name.
Yeah, I think Ralph was on his way, barring the injuries and all that. He could have changed the NBA a little bit. He was legit, but injuries kind of took him out. And that's the thing that you worry about with guys that big. To me, the guy that held up the longest with his body never letting him down to the extent was Abdul Jabbar. Kareem was a freak of nature that, he was a 7 footer that kept his athleticism for years, was dominant for years, and never really had the injuries that we saw a lot with other bigs. So it's just that when they get lower leg injuries or they're just so big, and if they get foot fractures or things of that nature, it kind of takes them out. So you just hope that he can get back from this and it doesn't have a lingering effect. You look at what I think something like this kind of ended Chris Bosh's career,
Yeah.
kind of took him down.
Mhm.
So you hope that this doesn't do that to him. And the thing about it is with blood clots, you can't take the blood thinners from what I understand because of the pounding and the hits that they take, the bruising or whatever. So it would be detrimental to him. They can't put him on blood thinners. So that kind of defeats a treatment. So who knows, man? I don't know what'll happen. I just hope he gets through it and he has a long, great career that looks like it might be.
Yeah, we're gonna pray for Pops too as he's recovering from his mild or mini stroke that he had. So
Yeah.
he'll be out for the rest of the year. So if the Spurs get the #1 pick, can you imagine Cooper Flag being on that stage with Wemby?
Yeah, Flag, Stefan, and Fox and Wemby. Whew, that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That'd be nice.
It'll be a shame if all of them come there and then Cooper Flag slow them up. No.
You know what I'm hearing though is what if Oklahoma City puts a package together to move up and get it?
Now Oklahoma City, it's gonna be a real shame with them and Cleveland if they don't win it this year.
Maurice had something to say about the injuries.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I saw Thompson. He missed a lot of the beginning of this year with that type of injury. So, and then Ingram has been out a while. But is this why he's been out for the same reason this year? With what Ingram is doing, or was this in the past? Because I know it was this year.
I'm not sure, but
Also, or whatever. Also, and both of them, those Thompson twins can play. I mean, they're legit. Both of them.
Yeah.
But Han, let's go ahead and give you some pound and talk about that Cade Cunningham kid that you've been rooting for. He been balling.
Yeah, I got to give it to him. You know, coming out, I initially, you know how I am about number one picks overall. But I think I told you earlier, I've watched him play and watched his game. I hate that Paolo got hurt because his game was coming on. These are two guys that I would have missed on because I said I would never take them. I think both of these guys are bona fide. I think they both are guys that can lead organizations. I don't know if they can lead them to the top of, to the championships or whatever, but they're legit, leaders of organizations. So I take a mea culpa on that. I stand corrected. And Cade right now is balling the night. They're up by 18 on the Celtics, and he's having a great floor game. Watching what he's doing. Yeah, they're up.
There's that prize
he's got 17 and 10 tonight, and balling. So I mean, he's plus 12, and it's about 7 minutes left in the game. So yeah, he's playing well, man. The Pistons, I think they win tonight. I think it's a 10-game win streak. And beating Boston, even though Boston's on the back-to-back, but this is a good win. Jaylen Brown is out. They had a couple of players out tonight, but still, you beat the defending champs, and they're beating them soundly so far. So I tip my hat to Cade. He's coming on. The game is slowed down for him, and he's playing at his own pace. When you watch him play, they can't speed him up. So he's looking good, man. And they're looking good as a good young basketball team. Actually, Jalen Duren is coming on. So, hey, man, Pistons are looking good. They're still maybe a player or two away, maybe a year away from really contending, but they can make some noise this year.
All right, let's talk about the face of the NBA real quick. Ant-Man saying that that's not his responsibility or something to that effect, or he don't want it. He's not trying to.
He doesn't want it. Yeah, he doesn't want it.
But
he doesn't want it.
But like you said, Han, just a few minutes ago, you got to take what comes with being good or being great as he is. You got to take that with it.
But he does enough of the. He does a lot of the negative cussing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Lord,
that's going to get him. He won't be able to be the face because he's. I think he does it purposely. He as long as he's authentically himself, I have no issue with it. So, but that won't get it. He can't be the face because those type of things just won't translate. Having a lot of, I think the kids out of wedlock, whatever he's doing with the strip, I don't know to extent. Let's just say things that he's doing don't really equate. Yeah, they don't equate to being the face of the league. So I think that'll be an issue and that'll be a problem for him. But it's not a problem because he doesn't want it. He just wants the ball and live as a 21, 22-year-old, guy. He wants to live. He won't live like he an A, man. It is what it is. Him and Ja Morant. Yeah, him and Ja Morant don't care about that. That's not their concern. They like the ball and they like to be what they are. They like to be the people that they are. So I have no issue with it because they're authentic to what they are. So, hey, The person that I think the NBA misses out on that has the image that could be the face of the league. He already won a title. It's Jason Tatum, and for some odd reason, he gets the soft moniker from other players. This dude ain't soft. I mean, I don't know, man. If he was, I guess if he was more rugged like Jalen Brown, he would probably be the face of the league right now. Jalen Brown can't be it because he's too ethnic. He's too African American. He wears too much of the African or
Yeah.
the black stuff on his chest. So
Too,
that's gonna
too
rub
much of
people
a
the wrong
soul,
way.
brother.
He,
Too much
yeah,
of a
he got too much soul, so he can't beat. But Jason Tatum, for some reason, it just doesn't translate for him being the face. To me, it's an automatic passing of the torch. He has no off the court issues. Has his son always with him on the court. Uh, has a did he get married to LMA or they just
Yeah, yeah,
partnered? I don't know.
they married.
So I mean, everything about what the dude is, and he's biracial, isn't he? I think, isn't he? So he got it. He got it all. He got it all, and they still don't pub this guy to make him the face of the league. I don't understand it.
Nope.
It
So,
has to be something else.
so the question is this: does the face of the league have to be American born, and
I think so, Big Home.
can it be more than one face of the league?
Nah, it's still. I think it can only be one face of the league, and I think he has to be American born. I don't think Luca can ever be. I don't think I told y'all a long time ago. Giannis would never. I don't care how good he got. You have to be able to speak for one thing, the language, and you know, I just didn't think that would ever translate for
Hey,
Giannis. It didn't work. And I don't, like I said, I don't know why Tatum, like I said, I think Tatum is the guy. So I don't know. It don't make sense to me.
All right, Cole, what you got? I see you over
I
there
mean,
screwing up some.
it could be. It could be. Wasn't able to be a good one, but he's more team oriented. He doesn't talk a lot. Shea Gilgis Alexander. He's Canadian.
He's Canadian. Exactly. He's Canadian.
But Maurice say Tatum is boring.
And that's the word with him. He
I
just
guess so.
boring. He doesn't
I
do
guess.
anything spectacular. He's just a
Yeah. I
good,
mean,
clean guy.
yeah. I mean, but I don't know, man. I guess wholesome don't win. But so
No,
that's the thing about it. It's such a diverse thing. Okay, you can if you too off the court, too much crap off the court, you can't be the face. But if you too clean and you're not rugged enough, then you can't be. So, what guy that we see in the league now is in the middle?
none.
I don't.
Tatum about the closest thing
It.
you gonna get, and
Can, right. So it can in a few years can Cooper Flag be the face? Is he
heck
gonna be a
no,
star power enough to do
no,
it?
no,
Okay.
indeed. Nobody want nobody
Nah,
from Duke to be
man.
no face.
Whoa,
College.
Cole.
Could could Zion have been had he been able to play on the court, stay on the court? I
Zion
think
could be the face.
I think his image is tarnished now with all the stuff that went on off the court with him too. I think that's the wrap. Not just not playing, but I think the stuff he had with the female, you know.
Zion is the face of Golden Corral. That's about all for him.
Whoa,
That's
whoa, Coach.
oh
Coach, you
no, that's
telling
Duke
me
play.
something.
I'm sorry. That's another Duke play. I'm sorry.
So
Hey,
is the NBA gonna have a problem when Steph and LeBron go away? Because we sitting here, they already got a problem with the All Star game. They get the problem here or whatever. Are they gonna have a problem going forward if they can't find their face?
I think they will have a problem. They will have a problem because now I think they are pushing Ant-Man to be the face because he's in more commercials than anybody else. But he's not wanting to wear the crown. Jason Tatum
Right.
last hurdle was to get a championship ring, and he finally got it. But now I don't think they're trying to push that to us because for whatever reason, John
Yeah,
Morant,
they don't want him.
John Morant is the same. He's still trying to make his way in the good graces of other NBA. So you can't go to
He don't
him.
have a chance. Ain't no way he can be the face of the league. Yeah, that's a wrap. He was on his way. He had the trajectory, but before all the guns and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, that I don't think Ja ever really wanted to be that. He didn't care anything about that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I
All
mean,
right,
you
You
look
go
fellas.
at
down the roster. I mean, we just got through talking about a Kate Cunningham, players like that, Paolo Banchero. Nothing about them shows that they can be the face.
Other than their
wait,
I
game,
mean,
hold,
so
hold up, Hancock, hold up. Wait a minute, Ho. He said Paulo Banquero. You ain't say a word. Wait. You know,
I said the game speaks for they game speak for itself,
when
and
I
I
said
think I
Zion,
think I said I think that when Paulo got hurt this year, he was in the rhythm, and I think he was headed toward the MVP at least talk before he had to sit out for about 2 weeks, and it kind of
yeah,
slowed him down. But I think he could possibly be a face, but they have to win. So now we're talking about winning. What about a can't be Donovan Mitchell? You can't put him out there, could you?
no,
what if he wins the title?
yeah, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this: does the face of the league have to be in a big market? That's the question.
It wouldn't hurt.
I
More
mean,
people will
LeBron was
watch.
the face of the league in Cleveland, and I don't think Cleveland was a big market, but he made it a big market. But maybe I think the face of the league, the reason LeBron had no issue with it because we knew and got him coming into the league. He was already a star coming in, so it was a natural progression.
Yeah,
Um, I don't see anybody. When you look at the big cities like New York, Brunson can't be. I just don't see him being the face of the league.
nope.
Cat definitely won't be the face of the league. Um, we talk about Cleveland Mobley, one of the good player, but not a face of the league type player. Um,
It's just
I
not
still
out
don't
there.
think, like I say, I see what Marty's saying. Wimbyana or somebody starts winning a few titles. I think Wimby has the star power, but I just think that in this world, this society of the United States, America, it's got to be an American. I really just believe it has to be an American. Could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I just think it's got to be a dude from the States. I don't see you having the face of the league be a guy that when the Olympics come around, he's going to be representing another country. It's not going to happen. You understand what I mean? It just doesn't sit well.
All right. So I got
I think that.
a very interesting 3-point question. I only got one question tonight because we saw the time. But this gonna be interesting. We can talk about this. We'll probably have to do a part 2 on this. Was Allen Iverson ever the face of the league, or was he the face of hip hop that blended into the NBA?
Yeah, he was Allen Iverson and Michael Vick were the same. They were the black community's face of the league. They were what we as a culture gravitated to. You know, uh, they kind of bucked the establishment. When you looked at both of these guys, and I challenge anybody to come up with any in those positions at that time in the NBA. There were no braids. There was nobody wearing tattoos and braids and in the league. He changed the game. You know, if you look at him when he first came in, he had a short haircut, but as he got to be Allen Iverson, there were the braids. Same thing with Mike Vick. No quarterback in the NFL looked like Michael Vick. So to me, those two guys, they were the face of the culture in those games, but they were never the face of the league.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They never was actually the face of the league. They were the face of hip hop and the culture that blended into the league.
Right.
So, all right, Coach, what you got? What you I'm sure you got something to say on that. What's your take on that question?
And I noticed that Mike, the old school braids in the hair and everything. Notice how Cat quickly, it wasn't quickly, over the course of a time, after his prison sentence, he went to the short haircut.
Mm-hmm. He did.
He got away from them braids and everything and decided,
Yeah.
hey, I gotta go conservative. And look at what it's got him. It got him on Fox, got him a coaching gig, got him all kind of stuff. So Mike understand the program. He like, hey, that ain't gonna get me anywhere. Somebody need to talk to Ed Reed, tell him to cut his hair, but I guess Ed said, no, I'm gonna keep my hair.
No, he ain't cutting nothing. He ain't cutting nothing.
All right, fellas. Well, that sounds like y'all are consensus with the face of hip hop, but not necessarily the league. As I go down here to try to find out music. There we go. That's good you got on in here. Hey, so blame Elon Musk for the crash. Yeah, blame Elon Musk for the traffic, bro. Because he told them folks they got to go back to work. All them remote home workers, you got to go back.
Yeah, Musk tripping, man. Yeah, Musk tripping big time.
Is he actually the president?
Yeah, I think so. He running stuff. Yeah, he running things.
Yep. Wasn't he? Trump is sitting back and letting him say and do what he want to do. Next thing you know, he's gonna tell Trump, "You need to get out of there for a few weeks. Let me have this thing."
Yeah. All right. With that being said, man, I'm gonna give my shout outs, man. Shout out again to Dez and Shay for their birthdays. I had a great birthday weekend myself.
My man. Hey, we gotta do the Big Easy, big homie.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, man.
Oh Lord.
Slick was in Memphis, man. He called me, wished me happy birthday. He was heading to Memphis. His stepmom funeral was this past weekend.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so he rode on down to Memphis, and he said when he get back in town, we're gonna have to do something.
Yes, sir.
Let's look. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody tuning in, listening to Sports Roundtable. Keep us going, man. Shout out to Coach for stepping in. Coach tried to get me to he tried to move my allegiance to 8 miles down the road. I said, Coach, come on now. You know that ain't gonna happen.
Just for a little bit. You got to stay there. Just like visiting.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would want to go to a game now, to be honest with you. Yeah. But yeah, man, thanks for everybody tuning in, man. It was a good thing, man. We talked to Bo Bell and Dale Ellis last week. And Dale Ellis said that LeBron will be coming off the bench and it's starting 5 all time.
I heard it. I listened to it.
Yeah, you heard it. Were you surprised?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, LeBron him and Jason Tatum take a lot of slings and arrows, man. As good as they are, it don't matter. If people got an idea of what you are, that's where you're gonna stay.
Exactly. So I'm you taking Bird over LeBron?
I got to, man. I watched Larry. Larry Bird was unreal, man. I mean, he just not. You and I, we talked about it before on superstars that really don't get their just due because it's in a day and age where they're kind of forgotten. But I people just don't know how good Larry Bird was, man.
Oh, I
They
did
just
have
don't.
I did have another question. Best fadeaway jumper.
Best fadeaway jumper.
Bernard King, Adrian Dantley, Michael Jordan.
You
I can't go against. Yeah, Dirk was something real. I'm still going with Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mike.
Everybody know Michael Jordan did that.
Adrian Dantley had a mean one too now.
Yeah.
And Bernard King.
Jordan put.
Yeah, they both were nice.
Yeah.
Mike changes. He changed some things. For him to go to that and become a staple in his offense, and Kobe copying it and doing the same thing. I mean, I gotta go with the Black Cat, man. Mike Jordan.
Going with the Black Cat.
Yeah, I'm going to the Black Cat.
Jordan. I mean, Danley and all them won games with their Jordan won championships with his. So
He sure did. Yeah. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Best fadeaway, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
That's who I'm going with.
Now, is it true that Kobe wore 24 as a shot at Michael Jordan?
I don't know if it was a shot at him, but he wanted to say that he was one better than 23. That was I think from stuff that I'd heard. Well, I don't call it a shot, but it is what it is.
That's a shot. Coach, what you think?
He might try to sneak it in real deep, quiet like. the sneak. Kobe was an assassin. Now he didn't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
Imitation. They say imitation is the best form of flattery. Is that it?
Yeah. All right. 8 or 24 for Kobe. Which one was better?
8.
8 was more athletic. 24 had mastered the game. I think they both were Hall of Famers. That's the problem. I think both of his careers in 8 and 24 both would have been Hall of Fame. So I don't know which one was better. What I do hate is that 8 might have been better had he not had Shaq, because he would have not had to play second at a certain level. So think about Kobe in his prime years being the undisputed go-to guy on his team. Not worried about nothing else. Being like what Mike was. That's the key to, how they said Mike was greater and Mike was all that. But Mike didn't have to play second fiddle at any time of his career. Had Kobe had those years where he had to be the guy, it's all speculation, but think about more shots, being the man. I'm not saying he might not win the titles that Jordan did, but he would have had more leeway to do the things to be the number one guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I had Tracy said the Big E's at Applebee's. She made sure I had some Big E's at Applebee's. They got a Big E's menu.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty good too. So
that's what's up.
You got to throw that in and make sure we recognize and give a shout out to Big Easy.
All right then, what's up? Big Easy at Applebee's. Well, we're gonna have to do the authentic Big Easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's do it, man. All right, give me your shout out, Coach.
Shout out to you two guys for having me on the show always. Glad Hancock made it through that Atlanta traffic. Shout out to my boys Rev, and Armani on the Red and Rev Sports Show Saturday from 11 until we get tired. Shout out to D Will, wherever D Will is. I know
he doing state championship basketball in Alabama. He said he gonna have a full report when he get back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they rolling it like they doing here in Georgia too. Shout out to Smitty Smith for coming on. Shout out to the Tar Heels as they make their run to try to get off the bubble. That's why the schedule favors them, because they are truly chump killers right now. They killing all them chump teams trying to get in, and the schedule favors them. They got Miami Saturday, then they got to turn around and play somebody equally as bad, so they can't afford any losses. Then next Saturday, of course, is Duke. No comment. We gotta play them close just to get in. If we can beat them, then we guaranteed to get in, and then the ACC tournament, because we'll see what happens. But yep, shout out to all them. And
All right, Han, what you got?
Hey man, shout out to you, big homie. I want to wish you a belated happy birthday. I sent you a little note on Facebook. I don't know if we got there or not. You know how I am with that.
I got it.
But yeah, I just one of my closest and favorite people in the world, man. You, and then I got to celebrate my pops, man. His birthday was the 24th, so I talked to him. He's doing well, good health. So happy birthday to my dad.
Yes,
And
sir.
big homie again, man. Just shout out to everybody that watches and tuning in to the SRT, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. What I did know, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, y'all. I did not know in college basketball in the ACC that it's so many teams in the conference that three of the teams are not gonna make the ACC tournament.
oh yeah, you
Oh,
can't
really?
have 16 or 17 teams. Yeah, you can't have it overloaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 teams cannot make it. Miami, NC State, and Boston College not gonna make the tournament. They all
Not even no play in or nothing, huh?
they not gonna be in the ACC tournament at all. It's already been the schedule's already out.
Wow.
Ain't
Okay.
that something?
Wow. Yeah, hey, it happens.
Damn. So just imagine football gonna be the same way or get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to go to conferences anyway, 2 conferences, and then we'll see what happens. 'Cause they got to break this up. You can't have people playing out of California that's in the ACC. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. You're in the Atlantic Coast Conference and you flying you all the way in California.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
Yeah. All right, man. With that being said, Coach, we sure appreciate it, man. And SRT crew, you know how we do it. Man, let's roll, baby.
Boogie, I'm headed home, baby.
It's your main man H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pops. R.I.P. BT. And if you love the show,
Tell a friend.
and if you didn't,
Happy birthday again, big homie.
we out of here. Coach,
Peace.
we out of here. Peace.